This first poem is a new form I just found recently. I had a lot of fun with it. It's a cento. If you're unfamiliar with the form, it is a poem where you take an anthology of poetry or a book of poetry by a specific poet. You take one line from a poem until you have a series of 10 to 20 lines, and then you have to arrange them without changing any of the words into an entirely separate poem.
Oh my.
And this is called Night Dancer. Off she goes into the material world, a body out on parole, a desperado with a long record, waiting to be touched and transformed. Stars fall from the sky like wind-blown apples, and everyone gropes towards black, or seems to, in these dark nights of the soul, dancing to the vibrations through the floor, thin and brittle, gone in an instant. The glass shatters, the iron sunders, as darkness falls like a wet sponge into the pageant night had promised us beyond the window. The workmen leave, the woman alone, turning and listening to music from another time.
Okay, what were the poems you got them from?
The Best Anthology of Contemporary American Poetry, 25th anniversary.
Is that one poet?
That was different.
And it was Billy Collins, Barbara Allen, somebody. It's a whole list of poetry. So if you go to the library and you look for that book, you'll find one line from each of the poems. Best American Poetry Anthology, 25th anniversary edition. Time after time. Do you remember the time we met? Eyes locking together across the room. Our beating hearts sealed our fate. Eternity captured in that moment. Do you remember the time we spent enraptured by each other, breathing as one, dreaming as one, the promises we whispered in the dark? Do you remember the time we lost the love we had planted but couldn't grow? Angry words poisoning the ground, our wounded hearts bleeding out. Do you remember the time we left, closing the door on what was, leaving behind what might have been, eternity captured in that moment?
I remember.
Before and after. I slip on my mother's pink taffeta dress as if I could slip on her past, solve the mystery of who she was before the years of hard work and disappointment, turn the smiling party girl into the haggard woman pacing our floors at night, chain smoking. In an old photo album, there's a snapshot of her wearing that dress, an orchid corsage pinned to the bodice. She faces the camera caught mid-step, dancing with a man I don't recognize. She taps the photo, says, "I met your father after." After they were married, she put the dress away in a plastic bag with lavender and mothballs, where it has hung for years like an unwelcome guest, until the day I shake it free and put it on. The corsage's faded petals cling to the petticoat's hem, then spin off onto the ground, trampled to dust as I twirl about the room, pretending I am Cinderella before the clock strikes 12. This poem is entitled Closure. It actually started out as a ghazal and evolved into something else. I sigh, seeing your mouth tightly closed. I can't feel your heart, it too is closed. Let's talk, I beg, as you turn away. I stand there, watching your door is closed. Once we were as one, united in our fate. We joined hearts and hands, our ranks we closed. We had a love that was beautiful and strong. Now it's a twisted labyrinth, all exits closed. Our life has become an abandoned street, storefronts dark, windows barred and closed. You still sigh when I kiss your lips, but I could be anyone, your eyes are closed. Cold feet. He traces a finger along my soul, trying to read the places I've been. Wet feet slapping down on exotic sands, churning through tropical seas, running on ancient cobblestones, or delicately shod, dancing over palace parquet, clicking over marble tile to catch a midnight train. He hopes my flesh will tell him what my words cannot, hopes it will reveal all the secrets of my past. He longs to know the life I led before him. Will he love me more or turn away, disappointed at how ordinary it has been? Wet feet slapping down on fresh-mown grass, churning through a dented kiddie pool, running on cracked concrete, roughly shod, dancing over shag carpet, clicking over vinyl tile, working the midnight shift. He smiles at me, waiting. I will my feet to remain silent. Let him love the me he thinks I am, I pray, as he traces a finger along my soul. One night. Will you love me tonight? Hold me in your arms. Let your scent slip beneath my skin, quicksilver and blinding. Possess me, lay claim to my heart as we lie in the moon's haunted glow, caressed by its ethereal blush, our limbs entwined, passion slick and trembling. The past never was, the future will never be. Live with me here in this moment, suspended in time like a drop of dew, sliding down a spider's web until we crash to the ground, breathless and triumphant. Give me one night to carry me through on the long, lonely one stretching out before me. Love me for just tonight, then slip away, a silent thief, leaving behind the warmth of your breath on my cheek and the dream of what might have been. Tourist town. I walk along our country road, deserted now the summer people have all gone home, leaving their cottages and cabins, dark vacant shells, once vibrant with raucous noise. The air carries away their sun oil scent, replacing it with the crisp smell of fall. Our town prepares for its hibernation. Seafood shacks and newsstands are boarded up. Birds pack it in, take to the wing, head south, following the summer people, leaving their nests and birdhouses, dark, vacant shells, once vibrant with chirping and new life. My grandmother heaves a happy sigh and says, "At long last those summer people have gone, no more tourists, peace and quiet once more." She looks at the lake, now empty of boats, and smiles. I walk along our country road, where a boy once stole a kiss from me. His sun oil scent drifts on the autumn breeze, lingering long after the summer people have gone. Swimming at Winnipesaukee. You can tell the lake is ancient just by looking at it. It stretches out insolent and brooding, possessing a deep, cold heart. Everything about it feels prehistoric, even the pebbles that peek out sharp and menacing from their place where the water beats the shore. On the sunniest days of summer, it lies, still, black and icy. You can't help but feel that there, right there, in its center, something lies in wait. They say sea serpents troll its depths, ready to pounce on the unsuspecting. You look at it, apprehension clutches your stomach beneath your bathing suit. You wade in, small pebbles stabbing angrily at your soles. You let the water push and tug at your ankles, shoving you away and then demanding that you enter. You hesitate, glance toward the wide expanse of water spread across the horizon. Its surface is smooth today, no sea monsters in sight. You take a deep breath and dive in, just as the clouds are swallowed by the sun. And one more. Something a little fun. Snail Mail Serenade. I think social media is really great, although I've come to it rather late. Still, I long for those days I think were better, when someone took the time to write me a letter. When they would send photos I could hold. I know, I'm getting old. But I prefer a birthday card to a tweet. The ones my kids used to send were really sweet. People took time to shop for that special card. Is getting to Walmart to buy one so hard? Electronic gadgets have their purpose and place as we try to keep in touch while running the race. But let's take a moment to stop and inhale, to pick up the phone instead of email. Let's slow things down instead of rush, rush, rush. Ooh, I just got an Extra Life and Candy Crush. Gotta go.